Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Pisces. So Pisces, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. So Pisces, I'm going to say to you the same thing that I began saying for Aquarius yesterday. Your reading feels pretty much a collective reading, but I am going to stick with this reading for Pisces nevertheless, because I feel like whoever is ready to see how the readings are blending together and they are all, connected to each other and telling like a bigger story, then you'll already know that all of the readings are collective in a sense. Perhaps the different scale of the collective may vary, but nevertheless, they are all collective. So I'm just going to stick with this for Pisces because we are beginning actually with a card that is very Piscean. It is very essentially the unconditional love that Pisces holds for oneself, for the other, for the collective. And so we're beginning with a card that it's very hopeful in a sense. It's talking about unconditional love. These were the two words that I heard when I saw the Ace of Cups. And the interesting thing, connecting now to the Aquarius reading, in the extended part for Aquarius, at the bottom of the deck, those who saw the extended reading for Aquarius yesterday know that this card was hanging underneath the Hanged Man under the deck, on the bottom of the deck. So, which was talking about the weight being over for this, new age of unconditional love, new phase, just for a time for unconditional love to prevail. And there's a lot about new beginnings here because we have three aces, and actually is very, very interesting because these aces are the same aces that came up also in Aquarius. So it feels pretty much like a continuation from the Aquarius reading. Although I have to say, this card, beginning your reading, Pisces, gives me the hope that whatever comes next from this new beginning, which feels slightly different from yesterday because it's talking about the purging. It's touching upon the side that is a lot more intense, a lot more profound. Maybe this unconditional love is going to create like this atmosphere that is like this umbrella where underneath the umbrella there is a lot that is going to brew from old wounds, from like very sensitive spots in you, in your collective, in your family, because the next card is the Death card. So this is where the intensity, the depth, the shadows, the death, right, of something that is not unconditional is coming from. So this is like the biggest umbrella. This is what is prevailing in a sense. But there is, I feel like, a moment of intensity that is going to, it's almost like it's going to pick up the dirt, is going to reveal the shadows, is going to invite us to this dive deep into a huge transformation, individually and collectively. And perhaps Pisces, this is a reason why this is your message, because you're going to be the example of acceptance, of compassion, of empathy, of love, unconditional love, in a moment when everything seems to be dark, seems to be undergoing this death phase, this phase of destruction. But it's because it's all for the purpose of building a new foundation based on this unconditional love because of the Four of Cups coming next. So yes, the huge transformation is here. After all, it is the major arcana. But, you know, to me, the opening cards are always like they carry, you know, an important message because they are setting the tone for the entire reading. And so this is what I feel like, Pisces, maybe you are going to be the ones who have to lead those who are going through a rough time, or those who are not seeing yet that in this death process there is the rebirth of a new foundation that is based on love. And so it's like you are the ones who have to keep, you know, the hopes high, because it's like you are going to be the ones with I want to say, it's like believing that there is this divine orchestration at play. With the Wheel of Fortune coming next, it's like the end goal, or the objective, the purpose of this intense transformation is because there is something being built, or, well, I should say there is something being exposed about this foundation because it needs to be nourished. It needs to be poured with love. And that is with the Wheel of Fortune. It's interesting because yesterday the Wheel of Fortune was the card that opened Aquarius reading, and it's here also after this transformation and after the reminder that it's all for love, all based on love. And there is this acceptance of this process of transformation that might get intense, that might be, before we see the light, maybe we still have to see darkness, or it's like just the transition. I don't want to be that alarming or anything like that. It's just the transition from the death to the rebirth. It's like crossing this door from, you know, a dark room into a bright room, and it's like being the one who carries the pure heart, Pisces. It's like you are the one maybe who is going to just point to this foundation, and it's like overflow it with love, because maybe that is part of your purpose towards this collective, towards, you know, humanity overall. Because it's like I feel like this transformation is happening for all of us. And so it's like the focus that you are pointing to all of us, to the heart, to the pure love, to the unconditional love of the Ace of Cups, is what is going to allow this transformation for something to be a little bit more smooth. And it's like it's almost like the rebuilding of a new foundation based on love, and how this orchestration from the divine, from the universe, is helping, is aligning, is giving the space, giving the time. So I feel like it's almost like you're going to be the one that need to bring the words of kindness, the words of acceptance, the words of hope, the words of encouragement. Because from what I'm seeing next, it's like maybe there are going to be, you know, this intensity brewing because of this card. And there's going to be like this intense polarity, intense clashing of different words, of different visions, of different opinions. Because after this Wheel of Fortune, which, you know, it's interesting because to me, these two cards, it's like the unconditional love is what is at the center of this wheel. And so this is the reason why perhaps you are the one, Pisces, who have to remind us all in the collective that despite the intensity, despite the all of the shadows that are still being revealed, all of the destruction that still needs to be made in order for this reconstruction to happen. It's like there is still hope that this new foundation is actually being built upon love and nothing else. But well, it's not necessarily that it's not based on nothing else. There are many things, but especially with these two cards. But I want to say because of this Ace of Cups being the opening card, is the umbrella that is going to be the guiding light. So after this Wheel of Fortune, we have the other two aces, the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands. But the Ace of Wands fell on the ground like this, upside down. And so more and more the cards are speaking to me as a reader in this reversal position. And it's just, well, these two cards are talking about, you know, different thoughts, new thoughts, perhaps new truths or new words. It's interesting because I've been thinking a lot about like the brewing of a new vocabulary, the brewing of a new language. And maybe, yes, it is like, you know, it's like, it's under the umbrella of love. So it's like a new vocabulary of unconditional love, which it's like the restriction of words don't really reach this unconditional love. So I feel like the transformation, perhaps, it's like this transition from a world that is based on words and passion. This is talking about action, words and action, words and passion, communication and passion. Or, you know, maybe we're talking about activism. Because, okay, so the thing that I saw when I saw this Ace of Wands upside down, and I feel like it's perhaps the first time that I saw the Ace of Wands coming this way, I saw a tree falling. So to me, it was really heartbreaking, which is, you know, it's like this, right? It's like the process of, you know, something dying in one's heart. But there is still hope. That's the thing. And so I feel like, well, especially with the card that is coming next, the Two of Pentacles, what I'm seeing here is like this. It's like two forces coming head to head or coming face to face. It's like coming in this direction, which is, to be honest, Pisces, I feel like you are the one seeing what most people are not seeing. Perhaps most people are scared, most people are fearing the change, are trying to avoid this intense transformation. And I feel like there's something really, well, hopeful coming from this moment of just acceleration of this intensity, of this transformation. Because it's almost like, as I said, the Two of Pentacles was bringing the duality, the polarity, the two extremes, the two visions, this, you know, seeing from two perspectives, because it is here. It's like this is, well, it's part of this alignment. It's part of this orchestration, the divine orchestration. It's like this transformation is the step forward. This intense death and rebirth, although yes, it can get like really, really intense for some time because of the last card that I'm going to show you. But I feel like the Two of Pentacles here is talking about this polarity coming closer and closer and closer to the center. So instead of something that was, you know, very far apart, it was very distant. It's almost like, you know, the closer you get to the doorway, it's like the closer you get to the center of the wheel. So it's like things become more intense. And, you know, that's the interesting thing. It's like, if you think of the movement of a wheel, it's like on the outer edges, you know, you sense the movement a lot more than when you are in the center. In the center, it feels like there is stillness. And so this is how I'm perceiving this. Well, it feels like a battle of two visions, of two initiatives, of two standpoints, of two truths, perhaps, or of two ways of dealing with this transformation that is inevitable. But nevertheless, to me, the Two of Pentacles is, you know, the symbol for me for these steps forward. So although it can be extremely intense, and apparently things are moving so rapidly that they feel like they're not moving at all, it's like the contrast between this, like, you know, the Wheel of Fortune being at play, this divine orchestration being at play, but we are so close to the center, and you, Pisces, are the one who is seeing maybe above everyone else, that instead of this clashing between two new beginnings or two visions, it's like this is what really is at the center of the Wheel of Fortune. Instead of something that is supposed to be like a battle, or, you know, coming head to head with a different opinion, or, you know, a different intention, a different action, a different way of acting, or, you know, a different way of thinking. It's like what you're seeing is unconditional love, where there is acceptance, where there is like this embracing of all. And that is what I feel like maybe you're going to inspire many, because here, as I said, there is this contrast. It's like these two are coming from like this, right? It's like they are coming from different sides. So it's almost like, you know, if you were to imagine, you know, the two extremes, the two polarities, you know, on the outer edges, it's like maybe they had to travel a long distance to finally come to the point where these two are face to face, in a way that it's like, you know, this doorway is where they are meeting, you know. It's like, and that's the thing. It's like, to me, this is talking about like maybe intense discussions, intense contrary opinions coming together to the same doorway, face to face. It's like closer than ever. But in this confrontation, in this bringing together of things that were far apart from one another, when they come together, it's like, it's just like in us. It's just like when we are, you know, joining the thought process with our force, with our energy, with our courage, with our creativity. When they work together, it's a lot more productive than when they are fighting against each other. So I feel like this transformation, it's interesting because only now I feel like you, Pisces, above everyone else, as I said, you are seeing this from the beginning, from the get-go. You're seeing this as an incredible, hopeful moment when, you know, this is the thing, this is the new beginning that is prevailing, because after all, this is what is being built. This is what is creating the new foundation. But it feels like because of the intensity, it's going to feel like nothing is changing, nothing is moving, because we are actually at the center of the wheel. But this is exactly the right alignment for the two things that perhaps could be working, you know, against each other, but actually to merge, to like be aligned instead of being, you know, fighting against each other. Like, you know, words that are capable of being, how do I say, like aligned with actions, and actions being aligned with words. You know, it's like truthful intentions, noble intentions, loving intentions. And so I feel like more than anything, it's like this is the next step towards this huge transformation. It's like bringing the two extremes to this center point, to this meeting point that is like halfway. It's like it is the doorway of the death card, and you know, it's the two sides, it's the death and the rebirth, like side by side, so close to one another that feels like this moment in time when nothing is changing, but actually everything is changing. You see, it's like getting to the core of the change, and then it's like this full liberation, because we're ending here with the Nine of Swords. And so this card, actually these two cards jumped out together, they turned together, but the Nine of Swords was yesterday in Aquarius reading, and it was talking about like the purging. So, but actually, now that I'm remembering, it wasn't the Nine of Swords, it was the Ten of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles. So it's interesting how here it's the Nine of Swords. So maybe this is the radical acceptance, now that I'm remembering the radical acceptance card that Sen has in one of her decks. So it's like this transformation, this huge change, this radical, drastic change that is going to be intense, that is going to be profound, that perhaps is going to be so noticeable, so, is that the right word? Or so perceivable. It's like it's going to become so obvious that this alignment is playing out, is, you know, there is this cosmic alignment that is facilitating this in a sense, no matter how intense it gets. But I feel like because of this, because of, it's almost like this, it's like two different beginnings, two different visions, two different perspectives are now facing each other with these two. It's like they are meeting in the middle, as I said. But maybe this is going to, at first at least, you know, the few steps forward, at least the first few steps forward in the direction of this death and rebirth card, it's like it's going to stir up, it's going to bring about a lot more discussion, a lot more confrontation, a lot more discomfort, and in a level of like, maybe I don't want to hear this, I don't want to see this, I don't want to be in this environment, I don't want to be in this clash, I don't want to be, you know, in the middle of this confrontation or this battle where it feels like both sides have their own specific visions, have their own truths, their own sides, their own points of view. And so, like, literally, Pisces, you're the one to remind us all that despite the discomfort that perhaps is going to be triggered first, it's like this is the overall, the overarching umbrella, the it's like the energy that is actually prevailing, that is actually being brought forward. So I'm falling from my cushion. So Pisces, I'm going to pull more cards for you, and I'm going to pull from the astrological runes as well. So if you want to join me in the extended, I'll be happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.